Incredible twins exposed, heartwarming plea to billionaire for bread reveals life-changing truth. The sun set low over the crumbling streets of their small town, casting a warm glow on the clapboard house where 12-year-old twins Mia and Noah lived with their hardworking single mom. To the world, their home was just another forgotten building, but to them, it was filled with laughter, dreams, and an unwavering spirit. Every weekend, as the bells at the worn-down community center chimed, the twins threw themselves into service, divvying out meals and offering smiles to their neighbors, each act a reflection of their mother's tough love and boundless dedication. "There is something magical about helping others," Noah, Mia whispered one evening as they tucked away exhaustion from yet another long day. They didn't just serve meals, they served hope, a spark igniting dreams of college and a better future. The clinks of spoons against bowls were music to their ears, each note urging them to strive harder, push further. Then came the news that sent shockwaves through their town: a billionaire was visiting, eager to invest in new opportunities. Hope swelled in their hearts. This was it. This was their chance to tell their story. They rallied behind the idea of crafting a heartfelt pitch, highlighting not only their struggles but the glaring economic inequality that gripped their town and the dreams waiting to be realized. But when they reached out, expecting understanding and compassion, they faced an unexpected wave of prejudice. "You're just kids, living in a dump," a sharp voice sneered in response, leaving them reeling with hurt and confusion. For a moment, they stood silent, the divide between their simple lives and the lavish world of the wealthy feeling cavernous. In their darkest hour, the twins found unexpected allies. Local veterans, weathered yet wise, offered their support. "You gotta keep fighting, kids," one gruff man with soft eyes said, recounting tales of bravery and sacrifice. Filled with determination, Mia and Noah decided to organize a bake sale. This wasn't just a chance to raise money, it was a way to showcase the love, resilience, and unity of their struggling community. As the big day approached, a sense of nervous energy electrified the air. On the morning of the bake sale, the scent of fresh cookies and sweet pies filled the streets, weaving through the gathering crowd like a comforting hug. Factory workers, retirees, and families all came out to lend a hand, shoulders brushing against each other, united in a common purpose. When the billionaire strolled into their midst, the twins' hearts raced. This was the moment. As Mia opened her mouth to speak, emotions surged through her, thick as molasses. Just as she began to share the truth of their lives, a hush fell over the crowd. The air crackled with anticipation, a collective breath held as the townspeople watched the billionaire's face. Would he see their worth? Would he understand that their dreams, though birthed from hardship, were glimmering like gold? As the moment stretched on, the weight of their hopes hung heavy in the air. The tension danced around them, binding everyone in a silent plea. Hope felt so close, yet an unsettling unease lurked in the corners. Would this be the moment their dreams transformed into reality, or would they remain trapped in the ever-tightening grip of their circumstances? The question hung unresolved, dangling precariously over their futures, urging readers to yearn for what comes next. Mia took a deep breath, her heart pounding like a drum as she looked up at the billionaire. He was dressed in a crisp suit that seemed to shimmer beneath the sunlight, a stark contrast to the weathered faces of the townspeople. Eyes glittering with expectation, she felt the weight of 1,000 hopes resting on her small shoulders. "Noah," she hesitated. The words tangled up in her throat, pressing against the walls of her fears. But just as she was about to falter, she glanced at her twin. Noah's steady gaze comforted her. It was like looking into a mirror that reflected nothing but determination and faith. "This bakery is not just about raising money," she finally managed to say, finding her voice among the soft murmurs of the crowd. "It's about rebuilding lives, it's about hope." The words spilled out, infused with conviction as she spoke, each syllable ringing like a bell. The billionaire raised an eyebrow, seemingly intrigued. But just then, a child's laughter from the crowd and the gleeful bickering of families momentarily broke her concentration. It reminded her of why they had organized the bake sale in the first place. This wasn't merely for themselves, but for everyone standing there, each with a story that deserved to be heard. "I know what some think about us," Mia continued, her voice growing stronger. "That we're just kids. But we're not just kids. We're voices of our community." She saw heads nodding, felt a surge of energy enveloping the square. Noah stepped closer to her, taking her hand in solidarity. "We're here to show what can happen when people come together. When dreams aren't just dismissed because of where we live." The crowd murmured, a wave of empathy rippling through them. It was a small spark, but enough to reignite their collective spirit. Suddenly, the billionaire's expression shifted. He looked around, studying the faces of the townspeople, the factory workers, the retirees, the mothers cradling sleeping babies. For a moment it was as if the glitter of wealth faded from his eyes, revealing a flicker of understanding. But then the tension returned. The moment felt fragile, like a glass ball poised to shatter. Would this fleeting recognition turn into action, or would it dissolve back into indifference? Mia's heart raced as she sensed the stakes rising, the responsibility of making a difference crashing over her like a tidal wave. With each second that passed, she felt the eyes of her mother upon her, fierce and proud, urging her to dare bigger. Noah, attuned to her heartbeat, leaned closer. "What if he doesn't get it? What if we fall flat again?" His voice quavered, uncertainty creeping in. The warm sunlight suddenly felt heavy on Mia's shoulders, but she clenched Noah's hand tighter, channeling courage from deep within. "Then we'll keep trying," she whispered back, their unspoken resolve binding them together. The hands of the clock ticked slowly, the atmosphere thickening with anticipation and fear. At that moment, as the crowd held their breath, Mia realized the power they all held together. And then came the billionaire's voice, booming over the hush. "Kids, tell me more about your dreams. What would you do if opportunities were laid at your feet?" Those words hung in the air, pregnant with possibility and fear. As the twins exchanged a glance, uncertainty flashed between them, and a new question took root in Mia's mind. Was this truly the moment they had been waiting for? Or was it merely another illusion of hope, dancing just out of reach? The next chapter of their journey was yet to unfold, but for the first time, they stood on the brink of transformation, hearts pounding and futures unknown. Would they embrace the chance to rise above their struggles, or would fear hold them back once again? Mia took a moment to gather her thoughts, her heart racing. She felt as if the whole world had stopped, all eyes focused on her. She could almost hear the whispers circling around her. What if she failed? What if this was all for nothing? But the flicker of hope ignited by the crowd urged her forward. She swallowed hard and stepped toward the billionaire, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face. "If we had opportunities, if we had a bakery, we could do so much more than just sell bread. We could create jobs, offer training, and bring people together." Her voice wavered slightly, but she pressed on, the urgency of her message strengthening her resolve. Noah squeezed her hand tighter, as if to say, "You got this." That small gesture gave her the courage to continue. "Our town isn't just a place on a map. It's full of families, dreams, and stories just like yours. We can't let those dreams wither away because people don't see their value." The billionaire listened intently, his brow furrowed in thought. A hush fell over the crowd, each person sharing in the weight of Mia's words. A mother with a baby in her arms nodded, a father wiped a tear from his cheek. There was power in the air. "What if we fail?" Noah's voice broke through the silence, capturing the billionaire's attention once more. "What if everything we work for falls apart? Our town can't handle another disappointment." His eyes shimmered with fear as he let go of Mia's hand, his shoulders slumping slightly. Mia turned to him, sharp realization striking her heart. "But what if we succeed? What if this is our moment?" She met Noah's worried gaze, willing him to see beyond the fear. "We can either let doubt crush us or let faith lift us higher than ever before. Together, we can overcome." The billionaire's eyes softened as he took in their youthful passion. The crowd was silent, hanging on every word like it was a lifeline thrown from a sinking ship. Mia felt a swell of determination rise within her, almost like a physical force urging her forward. "I know we're just kids," she continued, speaking from her heart. "But we have dreams just as big as anyone else. Every loaf of bread we bake can be a slice of hope for someone who lost theirs. Every cupcake can make a child smile when they have too few reasons to do so. We would create a place where everyone matters." In that moment, the billionaire's expression shifted again. No longer distant or bored, he looked as if he was struggling to contain an emotional response. It was a small change, but Mia seized it. "If you help us, we promise to work hard. We promise to put our hearts into it. This bakery can represent what we stand for: community, resilience, and love." The crowd murmured recognition, and she could see their hope rekindling. But still, the billionaire sat there, quietly contemplating the weight of their plea. Mia held her breath, knowing that this moment could change everything for her town. Then he spoke again, his voice steady but filled with something deeper. "You have passion, and you have heart. But passion needs a plan and support if it's going to grow into something real." Mia's heart fell, but there was still a flicker of hope igniting in her chest. "We can build the plan," she stuttered. Excitement crept back in. "Okay, let us talk about that plan," he replied, leaning forward. Just then, a shout erupted from the edge of the crowd, pulling everyone's attention. The atmosphere shifted as they turned, and Mia's anxiety spiked. Who was it? Underneath the initial awe and excitement of the moment, Mia felt the ground shake beneath her. A new challenge was approaching, and it could change everything. What awaited them now as the crowd stirred? And would their moment of hope evolve into a deeper trial? Mia's gaze darted to the edge of the crowd. Shadows danced in the sunlight as people shifted, eyes wide with surprise. The shout came again, sharper this time. "Mia! Noah! Over here!" It was Emma, a friend from school, her brown hair bouncing as she pushed through the crowd. Mia's heart raced at the sight of her approaching friend, and she couldn't help but feel a mix of confusion and concern. Emma's face was flushed, and she looked out of breath. What could possibly be so urgent at such a critical moment? "What is it?" Noah asked, stepping forward as Mia's heart pounded louder than the murmurs of the crowd. She could see Emma's eyes sparkling with excitement, but there was something deeper brewing beneath the surface, a message that wasn't just about their plea. "You won't believe it," Emma exclaimed, her voice tinged with urgency. "I just heard from my mom. The bakery. The one they were talking about last month. It's for sale. They've decided to close it down. Like, right now." A hush enveloped the crowd, their interest suddenly shifting from the billionaire to the unexpected news. "But that's it. That's our chance." Mia's voice trembled, her hands gripping Noah's tightly. "Exactly. If we act fast, we could buy it before anyone else. Just think about it, Mia. It's our perfect spot. It has everything: a kitchen, room for a cafe, and even a little space for community meetings." Emma's eyes shone with belief, and the commotion around started buzzing anew. The billionaire furrowed his brow, intrigued. "How much do they want for it?" he asked cautiously, his eyes narrowing as he processed the additional turn of events. "Not much. Just what we were thinking of using for the training program," Mia breathed, her heart racing with possibilities. "But it's going to be a challenge. We need to show everyone that we can do this. That we can turn this into more than just a bakery but a lifeline for our community. All the risk, but all the potential too," the billionaire mused, a thoughtful look crossing his face. Mia could feel hope creeping back into her heart, fluttering there like a delicate butterfly. The crowd, too, began to lean in closer, sensing the charge in the air. "Noah, we could do it," Mia whispered, almost to herself. What if we really could? But this time her mind was racing, constructing plans, ideas, dreams one after the other, the vision of the bakery coming to life dancing vividly before her. But as excitement flooded into that moment, a gentle tug at Mia's sleeve caused her to snap back into reality. There stood a small boy, eyes wide and hopeful. "Miss, will you really make a place where we can smile again?" he asked, his innocent voice piercing through the growing tension. Emotion swelled within her. It was the heart of the matter, the dreams not just of herself and Noah, but the dreams of everyone in that crowd, everyone in their town. Creating a space for connection, belonging, joy. "Yes, we will," Mia affirmed, turning back to the billionaire, determination lighting her gaze. "We promise to make it happen." But as she met his eyes once more, she could see the weight of his decision. She understood that this was no longer just about dreams and ambitions, it was about responsibilities and choices. Would he step in to help them, or would he walk away? As the crowd held their collective breath, waiting for his reply, Mia sensed the tension thickening in the air. Would this be the moment that determined their fate, their chance for a bakery, a heartbeat for their community, or would it slip through their fingers like grains of sand? "Mia," she heard the billionaire say, his voice firm as it cut through her hopeful reverie, "let us talk about how we can work together, but I need to understand what this means for you and your friends. How far are you willing to go?" With new courage surging, Mia braced herself for the evolving conversation, knowing it could lead to everything she had wished for. But deep down, her heart whispered a caution: could they truly withstand the weight of that responsibility, or would they find themselves overwhelmed by it? As everything around them hung in the balance, she prepared herself for the journey ahead. What doors would open, and would they have the strength to face whatever came next? Mia took a deep breath, her pulse quickening as she prepared to speak. The murmurs of the crowd faded away, leaving only the sound of her heartbeat echoing in her ears. "Noah and we've always wanted to make a difference," she began, her voice steadying with each word. "This bakery, this isn't just a dream for us. It's about giving back to our community. People are struggling, and we want to be there for them. We want to offer not just food, but a place to belong." As she spoke, the crowd shifted, leaning in closer, their eyes reflecting a mix of hope and heartache. What if we could create a menu that highlights local ingredients? And invite everyone to contribute their own recipes? It could be a hub for families, a spot where kids can bake and learn, Mia continued, her vision becoming clearer with each detail she added. "We can host events, share stories, and breathe life back into this town. One loaf at a time." Emma nodded vigorously, echoing Mia's sentiments. "And we keep it affordable. Families need a place where they can eat well without breaking the bank." The billionaire listened intently, his eyebrows raised in surprise at their passion. "It's ambitious. But how do you envision making it sustainable?" "You'll need a plan for that." Mia exchanged glances with Noah, who stepped forward, his expression serious. "We've got ideas. We can hold bake sales to raise funds. And maybe collaborate with local businesses for sponsorships. We're all in this together. My dad runs a small farm, he could help us source fresh produce. It's not just about money, it's about heart." A ripple of excitement passed through the crowd. Each person there understood, it was a dream beyond bricks and mortar. It was about community, connection, and care. The billionaire leaned closer, intrigued. "And you're willing to put your names on the line for this? Face the challenges head on?" "Yes," Mia affirmed. "I'll put everything I have into this." "We all will." The boy from before stepped forward again, eyes bright and earnest. "Can I help? I can wash dishes. I'm really fast." Mia smiled down at him, feeling a tug at her heartstrings. "Of course. We need all hands on deck. You can be our official dishwasher in training." Emma clapped her hands, igniting laughter amidst the somber atmosphere. "And I'll be in charge of decorating. We want it bright and cheerful." The billionaire's expression shifted, a glimmer of a smile breaking through the initial skepticism. "All right, let us say I'm on board. We'll work out the logistics, but I need to know you all are fully committed. It won't be easy, and it'll take time, but I believe there's potential here. Cheers erupted from the crowd. Hope soared, and for a moment, the weight of the past flickered away like a distant memory. Mia felt electric, the energy of possibility wrapping around them all. Yet, tension simmered just beneath the surface. Was it too good to be true? Doubts crawled at her mind's edges. What if the plan fell through? What if she let everyone down? As they began to discuss strategies, Mia stole a glance at the bakeries in the distance, her heart swelling with aspirations. They were teetering on the edge of something remarkable, but the path stretched far and vast ahead of them. Mia, the billionaire interrupted her thoughts, his gaze piercing. What if someone tries to sabotage this? The road to succeed is often lined with obstacles. Are you ready for that? The question hoisted Mia's heart tight in her throat. Would they really be prepared for everything that lay ahead? Or would the very dreams they clung to ultimately unravel before their eyes? As the whispers and ideas swirled around her, Mia fought to hold on to the view that had sparked hope in her heart. With the future still uncertain, she felt a powerful truth burning within her. If they were going to build this bakery, they needed to be ready for it all, every splendid, terrifying moment. But the real question loomed: could they truly navigate all the challenges ahead, or were they threading a fragile promise that could shatter just as ignitely as it had? Ignited? The journey had only just begun. Mia felt the weight of the billionaire's gaze on her, a mixture of encouragement and challenge. It was a moment that seemed to hang in the air, each heartbeat echoing louder than the last. What did he see? She took a deep breath, trying to steady the frantic thoughts racing through her mind. They couldn't falter now. Let's take things one step at a time, Noah chimed in, breaking the intensity. We can start with a community meeting next week. Gather more support, lay out our vision, and get people excited, real excited. A few enthusiastic shouts erupted from the crowd, the murmurs now a resonant hum. Loyalty and camaraderie washed over the gathering like a warm wave, and Mia couldn't help but smile. Okay. We'll plan the meeting, she replied, her spirit rekindling. But she also knew that the reality of their dreams was a steep hill to climb. What if logistical hurdles arose? What if the schedule was too tight? Let's talk about the first steps. We need to finalize a name for the bakery, Emma suggested brightly, shifting the energy in the room. How about heart of the community? Mia chuckled. That's lovely. But we need something snappier. Something that sticks. As ideas bounced around, laughter and whispers filled the air. The boy volunteered names like Dough Friends and Flower Power, making everyone chuckle. Yet underneath it all lingered that gnawing apprehension. The billionaire interrupted their brainstorming, a serious look on his face. Great ideas, but let's discuss funding. We can't just rely on enthusiasm. You will need a solid financial plan to back up your dreams. Mia's stomach dropped. The haunting specter of reality crept back again. Capital. Their bakery needed funds to even have a chance. The echoes of her neighbors struggling to make ends meet filled her thoughts. How could they ask more from a community already wearing so many burdens? Noah sensed her distress and squeezed her hand, his grip steady and reassuring. We can have bake sales, craft events. We could even launch a crowdfunding campaign online. There are ways to raise the money. We just have to get creative. She nodded, but it felt daunting. With a tight smile, she replied, absolutely. And every dollar counts, right? We can build this from the ground up. Just then, a woman from the crowd raised her hand, a hint of nervousness in her stance. I've got recipes that have been in my family for generations. I could help with baking. Me too. Chimed another voice, a man with grease stains on his shirt. I've got a great cookie recipe. The more they heard people step forward, the stronger the pulse of unity surged within Mia's heart. This was their chance to galvanize support. But in the back of her mind, doubts flickered like a candle flame. Cold fear kept whispering what they feared the most: what if the love and determination wasn't enough? What if all efforts fell through the cracks in the end? Just then, the billionaire's voice broke through her thoughts again, and what about the competition? Other bakeries might see your rise as a threat. You have to be prepared for that. The air thickened, tension knotting in Mia's chest. We'll work together, Mia finally said, her voice now firm. This isn't just our dream, it's the whole community's. If someone pushes us down, we'll just get back up together. That's what makes us strong. The crowd erupted into applause, the spirit of camaraderie growing even more fervent. Mia couldn't help but smile, a flicker of hope igniting once more. But deep down, as she surveyed the faces filled with determination, she felt the weight of responsibility grip her soul. They were counting on her and Noah and Emma and everyone else. What if their resolve was not enough? Behind every joyful face lay the threat of the unknown lurking just out of sight. And there it was again, the urgent question swirled in her mind: could they withstand the trials that lay ahead, or was this a fragile dream that could slip through their fingers at any moment? Let us do it, she heard herself say, voice ringing with newfound courage. Let us turn this hope into reality. As the crowd cheered, exhilaration coursed through Mia's veins. But as they reveled in the moment, a gut-clenching question remained: what unseen forces might try to tear them apart before they even got started? The journey promised to be fraught with challenges, but she had no idea just how fierce the storm ahead would be. Mia's heart raced as the applause faded, the energy in the room electrifying yet heavy with unspoken fears. She shared a glance with Noah, who smiled back, determination etched in his brow. He wiped a bead of sweat from his forehead, clearly feeling the pressure. Emma was already jotting down notes, her brow furrowed with concentration. Ideas were flowing, but the reality of starting their bakery loomed ever closer. Okay, team, Emma began, her voice cutting through the residual cheers. Let us decide who does what for the meeting next week. We need to be organized if we're going to show everyone we mean business. Mia nodded, feeling a swell of pride. They were a team now. This was more than just her dream, it belonged to everyone who believed they could change their lives with a simple bakery. But the thought of the competition loomed over her like a dark cloud. Let's all take turns addressing the community's needs, Noah suggested. Mia, you're our heartbeat. Share your vision and your passion, he encouraged, making her blush. Right, she replied, trying to mask her nerves. I'll inspire them. Meanwhile, I can outline the funding strategies, Emma said, her eyes lighting up. We'll craft bake sales and maybe partner with local vendors. Yeah. This is what we'll do. Mia felt a sense of warmth spread through her. Their commitment ignited a spark. As they exchanged ideas, the warmth of unity enveloped the room. They laughed more freely, the weight of worry lifting ever so slightly. But then a sharp knock on the door interrupted. The crowd hushed, and the energy shifted as everyone turned to the entrance. A tall figure stepped into the room. It was Claudia, the owner of the successful gourmet bakery in the area and trusted ally of wealthier neighborhoods. Can I join this little party? She asked, her voice dripping with sardonic playfulness but her eyes scanning the crowd with slight disdain. Mia's stomach twisted. This was the last thing they needed. Mia fought against the instinct to shrink back. Instead, she stepped forward. What can we do for you, Claudia? She asked, summoning courage as she squared her shoulders. Claudia raised an eyebrow, amusement dancing across her face. Oh, I just came to remind you how tough the bakery business can be. It's a lot of work, dear. Have you thought about brand differentiation? You don't want to be just another average place with average pastries. Murmurs rippled through the group. The tension crackled in the air. Mia felt Noah shift closer, his solid presence grounding her. Intuitively, she sensed that Claudia was testing them. Actually, we're aiming for something distinct, Mia said firmly, clenching her jaw. This bakery won't be just about the treats. It's about bringing the community together, sharing stories, and fostering hope. Claudia's laughter echoed, mocking. Hope. That's cute, but you'll need more than hope to succeed in this game. Good luck, you'll need it. And with that, she spun on her heel and left, leaving a stunned silence behind her. Mia's confidence faltered. She could sense the doubt seeping back in, the weight of uncertainty pressing heavily against her chest once again. Had they all just invited failure under the guise of ambition? Her mind raced as tendrils of anxiety began to tighten around her thoughts. Forget her, Noah said, voice low but fierce. She's just trying to intimidate you. Emma chimed in, she's threatened. That means we're doing something right. Mia forced a smile. Right. Together, we can make this happen, she echoed, but inside, questions whirled. What if Claudia's confidence and resources overshadowed their dreams? Could they really turn the tide in their favor? The community meeting began to take shape as they refocused. Ideas still vibrated in the air, they made plans for bake sales and even thought about holding a block party to draw in customers. But in the back of her mind, the worry festered, the weight of potential defeat grew heavier. With each step taken, the storm seemed to grow closer, and Mia couldn't shake the feeling that this fight was just beginning. As she looked around at the faces of her friends, she fought to stay hopeful. But doubt crept back like a silent thief, whispering that they might just be playing into Claudia's hands. How could they combat the established? And was their budding dream worth the fight when the odds felt so stacked against them? Determination flared, but so did fear. Was it enough to push through the rising tides? As their planning continued, Mia's heart raced. She needed to find a way to stand strong against the storm, or all they built could blow away like leaves in the wind. The truth was about to come to light, but would it be a light of hope, or despair? The following week arrived faster than Mia had anticipated. It was the day of the community meeting, the one where they would present their plans and ultimate vision. Her stomach fluttered nervously as she and Emma set up, arranging chairs and prepping their notes in the cozy town hall. The sunlight streamed through the windows, casting warm, golden rays across the room, yet the impending sense of dread clung to Mia like a shadow. Remember, it's about sharing our passion, Emma reassured her, checking her clipboard for the millionth time. Yeah, but what if it's not enough? Mia mumbled, unable to shake her anxiety. Noah arrived just then, his face set with purpose. You know, every great dream starts with a little bit of fear, he said, trying to be uplifting. It means you care. It means it matters. Mia appreciated the sentiment, but the fear lingered. Would the community see their bakery for what it was? A place meant for connection, or just another storefront vying for their attention? As neighbors began to trickle in, she noticed that Claudia sat at the back, arms crossed, an unsettling smirk on her face. Mia's heart sank. She would not let Claudia win. Not today. Let us take a deep breath together, Noah suggested, gathering the group as they stood a few moments before presenting. 1, 2, 3. They inhaled deeply, and for just a second, the nervous energy in the room shifted. Mia felt a little stronger. With Emma by her side, Mia stepped up to the front. The crowd hushed, eyes focused intently on her. For a heartbeat, she forgot about Claudia, about the doubts circling in her mind. It was just her and her friends, the team they had worked hard to create. As she began to speak, uncertainty melted into passion. We want this bakery to be more than just a place to buy bread. We dream of a community hub where everyone feels welcome, where stories are shared over pastries, and where we nurture creativity. Her voice grew steadier as she spoke. Imagine workshops, food drives, a space where everyone can connect and celebrate what makes us unique. The audience shifted, some nodding their heads, while others exchanged glances. She was gaining ground, but not without fear of Claudia's reaction. She could feel the competitive tension simmer in the air. Emma took over next, outlining their plans for funding and community events, block parties filled with laughter and food, bake sales that would bring people together, all aimed at supporting one another. A vision of hope began to paint the room as they spoke with excitement about future possibilities. Mia's heart soared. Together, we can truly build something amazing. She pushed, feeling the momentum swell. But just as the hope ignited, Claudia disrupted with a sharp laugh, cutting through the air. How touching. But dreams are not enough, dear. You'll end up running your fingers through flour while the real bakers make profits. Why don't you just accept your limits? The tension snapped like a rubber band, leaving the room in stunned silence. Mia's insides twisted tightly, words almost escaping her lips, but then she remembered Noah's earlier advice about fear. Claudia, she began, her voice trembling but fierce, we may not have experience, but we have the heart. And that matters more than any amount of profit or bakery success. A gasping murmur rippled through the audience, and she sensed something shift in their perceptions. Noah stepped forward, fueling their resolve. What we're proposing is about community. It's different from anything anyone else has dared to try. Ours will be a bakery built on connection, stories, and love, not just products. Mia could barely breathe, their dreams hanging in the balance. Would her words pierce through the doubts swirling around Claudia? Would the community embrace what they were offering? The room felt charged as people exchanged looks. Some were captivated, while others were considering, weighing the authenticity of their vision against the relentless standards set by Claudia. Mia felt the heat rising within her, a mix of determination and fear. What would it take to convince them? And if she couldn't, would it mean the end of their dream before it truly began? As the crowd began to react, murmurs spread like ripples across water. Mia looked to Noah and Emma, gripping her notes tighter. They were a team, and maybe together they could stand against the skepticism. But as the tension filled the room even further, one question hung in the air like smoke: what would happen if they were too late to change the outcome? Mia's heart pounded, the meeting still unfolded, and she knew this moment could redefine everything or break them completely. Was she prepared for what came next? Mia's breath caught in her throat as murmurs washed over the room. She glanced at Noah and Emma, their faces a mix of concern and determination reflecting her own. The moment was electric, filled with hope and fear intertwined. Would the crowd rally behind their dream, or would Claudia's sharp words cut through their resolve? In the corner, Claudia leaned back in her chair, eyes glimmering with delight at their discomfort. Mia could almost hear her thoughts, relishing the doubt cast over their ambitions. This wasn't just about a bakery anymore, it was about standing up for everything they had poured their hearts into. Taking a deep breath, Mia decided to push forward. We know we're new to this, but we believe everyone here deserves a place to feel belonging, a corner to call their own. This bakery isn't just about bread, it's about sharing experiences, growing together, and supporting each other through life's ups and downs. Her voice steadied, gaining clarity with each word. When you come in for a pastry, we want you to feel welcome. We want to hear your story, share our stories, and build connections that make our community feel whole. Doesn't that matter? A ripple of recognition gleamed in some eyes. She could see neighbors whispering to one another, consideration replacing skepticism. A spark ignited. Emma jumped in, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Imagine kids learning to bake alongside their grandparents', families coming together for meals crafted from local ingredients, community events that weave us closer together. We want to build bridges, not walls. The energy shifted again. The crowd was starting to absorb the warmth of their dream. Mia felt a flicker of hope, but Claudia wasn't done yet. Oh please. Claudia scoffed, rolling her eyes. You think dreams and wishful thinking are enough to make a business succeed? This is real life. Not everyone gets a happy ending just because they want it badly enough. You live in a fantasy. Despite the biting sting of Claudia's words, Mia straightened her back. Noah stepped up. It's a risk, yes, but every great endeavor begins with a leap of faith. We are not afraid of hard work. We want our bakery to be a safe place for our community, and that starts right here, right now. Mia locked eyes with the crowd, searching for that connection she craved. What we're doing isn't just about us. It's about bringing joy into our neighbors' lives, lifting each other up when times are tough. We want to create something more profound. We believe that if we open our doors with love, the people will come. The atmosphere thickened with anticipation. Faces softened, and Mia saw the first signs of support: a nod here, a smile there. The whispers grew less guarded, even among those who had been skeptical. Could it be they were starting to see the bakery through her vision? Just when Mia thought she might burst with hope, Claudia unleashed another wave. You'll never survive in this business. Just look around. The competition is fierce, and they want to let you win this game. What makes you think your heart is going to carry you through? The disbelief in Claudia's voice cut deep, but Mia squared her shoulders. Maybe it won't be easy. Maybe we'll fail, or maybe we'll succeed. But we won't let fear decide our fate. If we make this bakery together, we will stand as a community. We will support one another. Isn't that worth something? Silence hung in the air as Claudia stared, her confidence faltering. Within those moments, Mia felt possibility take root, blooming in the hearts of those around her. The room vibrated with tension, hope battling skepticism. What are you going to choose? Mia whispered, almost to herself, but loud enough for everyone to hear. Are we willing to risk it all for a chance at something beautiful? As she looked around, vagaries of expression coursed through the crowd: curiosity, apprehension, maybe even a little empathy. She could see a foundation being laid for their dream, but the final connection had not yet been made. A figure shuffled at the back, their expression unreadable. Mia's heart raced, and she thought, what if they were waiting for something more? What if there was a person in this room who held the key to change everything? Mia stole a glance at Emma and Noah, their eyes reflecting the same determination. She took a step into the unknown, lifting her chin. But if we're going to do this, we need each other. Are you with us? The crowd leaned in closer. She could almost taste the anticipation mingling with the warm air of the room. Would they stand with her or drift away? The answer loomed, heavy with potential. But just then, a well-dressed stranger stepped forward, hands raised in curiosity. What if I could help with the funding? Mia stared in stunned silence, heart pounding. Could this be the turning point? Her eyes widened, breath hitching. What does this mean? The stranger's gaze held promise, and Mia's heart raced with a mix of excitement and anxiety. Would this be the lifeline they had been waiting for? Mia's heart raced as she stood before the stranger, uncertainty swirling around her like autumn leaves in the wind. What does this mean? She echoed, barely able to breathe. The room seemed to hold its breath alongside her, the potential thick in the air like steam rising from warm, freshly baked bread. The stranger stepped forward, his appearance calming amidst the tension, neatly groomed, with an inviting smile. I'm Tom, he said. I've been watching from the back, and I have to say I believe in what you're trying to do. I can't stand idle while hope is being built right in front of me. Murmurs bounced around the room, ripples of curiosity and speculation stirring. Mia felt a spark of something she hadn't felt in a while: possibility. Funding? She whispered, barely daring to hope. Yes, Tom continued, local businesses need to engage with the community more, and I think what you're proposing could change everything. But I need to know how serious you all are. Are you willing to commit? Because we'll need a detailed plan. Mia's heart soared with renewed confidence. Absolutely. We're in this together. She declared, glancing at Noah and Emma, who nodded vigorously beside her. We want this bakery to be the heartbeat of our community, a place for dreams, laughter, and connection. The buzz of enthusiasm swept through the crowd, energizing them like a warm breeze on a cool day. People leaned in closer, catching the fervor that ignited in Mia's words. Voices chimed in with ideas, visions, and old family recipes, the air thick with anticipation. We will start with meetings every week, she suggested, her voice steadier now. "We'll create a plan that garners support and dedication from everyone. We'll show the community that this bakery is so much more than just a business." Tom smiled, his enthusiasm mirroring Mia's. "Sounds like the right path to take. And I can help with connecting you to potential sponsors and investors." As Mia looked around, she saw familiar faces nodding in agreement, hearts becoming open, fear transforming into camaraderie. Their worries melted in the glow of that singular connection, the promise of collaboration and community. Slowly, the weight in her chest lifted, replaced by the warmth of unity. "Together, we can make this happen," she declared, the energy invigorating her spirit like the smell of sugar and flour wafting through an open kitchen window. Claudia, still leaning back, now wore an expression of disbelief and irritation at the unfolding excitement. Her eyes narrowed as she gazed at the growing enthusiasm. But Mia, emboldened by the newfound hope, shrugged off her presence. The community rallied around the vision, voices merging into a vibrant symphony of support. They discussed bake sales, crowdfunding, events, and local partnerships, each idea building on the last, a tower of dreams reaching toward the sun. Together they could create something magnificent. With each passing moment, real plans took shape. The bakery was no longer just a distant dream, it was becoming a reality. As familiarity settled in, laughter rang through the air, genuine smiles lighting the faces she longed to uplift. Later, as the crowd began to disperse, Mia looked to Noah and Emma, her heart swelling with gratitude. They had faced their fears together, standing tall against the odds. Tears of joy welled in her eyes as she said, "We did it, you guys. We opened a door, and we won't stop until we walk through it." Noah grinned, his eyes sparkling with promise. "And this is just the beginning. We're not backing down." As she took a moment to soak it all in, Mia felt her love for her community bloom brighter than before. Together, they held the power to lift each other and rise above their circumstances like bread rising in the oven, blooming with promise. And as they memorialized that moment, hoping for the future, she reminded herself of the infinite possibilities that awaited. Mia turned to face the growing dusk outside the windows. "This is our time," she whispered reverently, feeling the shared resolve of everyone behind her. They were ready to build something beautiful, their hearts entwined as tightly as the dough they would knead together. It was the start of their journey as a community, and they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would embrace the transforming magic born from love, hope, and resilience. As the last light of the day faded into the night, Mia felt a sense of peace wash over her. They were truly on their way to making the bakery a reality. This was only the beginning of much greater things to come. Now it's your turn. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about this empowering finale, and share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand how vital your support is right now.